Is that what's gonna happen?
I mean, when the way you look at Brewers gave up 36 runs in 3 games and then another 11 today to start off this series. So you're looking
It's a
at
hot start.
you're looking at 43 runs given up in the last 3 games. It's about 11.3 runs a game.
I think he's just starting off strong. All right,
Oh,
episode
John.
episode 9, John. Pinstripes the putt. Talking opening weekend. What a wild ride it's been, and it could not have been any better for the New York Yankees on opening weekend. I think this was wildest imagination, for sure. We were at the game on Saturday. You should go check out that video. It's fucking mayhem. Absolute mayhem.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, definitely something we're probably never going to see again.
Probably not, no.
I mean, it just seems like everybody, no matter if you're fucking Oswald Peraza sitting on your ass for 2.5 hours and then getting pinch hit and then just deciding to hit a home run.
Yeah. But if you ask the people,
Surprisingly enough,
if you ask the
surprisingly
people,
enough, like only three. Oh, Jesus Christ, John. Go ahead.
John. No, if you ask people on the internet, their torpedo bats would make it definitely. It's definitely gonna happen again for sure. Everyone's using torpedo bats now. Obviously,
Yeah,
that's
not
what
Aaron
happened. That's what
Judge.
happened. Yeah, who had 3 of them? Not Aaron
Yeah, I
Judge.
mean,
Yeah. So let's talk about these fucking torpedoes. This is absolutely ridiculous fucking thing that's been going.
well, it's only confirmed that throughout the first 3 games, it's Goldschmidt.
Oh,
Or no, it's Wells.
I've noticed Volpe, Jazz, Belly, Wells, Goldie. I think Peraza had one. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a good majority of guys were using them. To be
I was
honest,
gonna
and I
say
know,
it's
and people were talking today. Stanton, or the last couple of days, that Stanton's injury was due to trying this fucking bat out. Apparently, and I'm not sure how that would work, but
yeah. I mean, or he's just fucking a 250-pound man swinging with basically all of his might with his upper body. When you think about it, you know what I mean?
yeah, carrying the
Ginormous
Yankees
human
through
being.
October every year.
Yeah.
Essentially. But yeah, just to fucking knock this conversation out real quick. Fucking bat obviously doesn't violate any regulations. The rest of the league can use it, and it's already being used, and nobody's had this kind of excessive success. Like, it's not gonna
Yeah.
be.
So
It's not
to
gonna be
that
a
point,
thing unless
I mean, Francisco Lindor just basically came off a MVP level season using it
yeah,
last year, and he's continuing to use it this year. And you don't hear anybody talking about it.
no,
Does it help that Nestor Cortez, in the first 3 pitches of his
yeah,
game, give you two low 90s fastball, top center of the zone, and then a hanging slider to Judge right in the sweet spot? I mean, you
yeah.
can also
What do
attribute
you
that.
expect? Yeah, what do you expect,
I
Nestor?
was just watching ESPN when we came on here. The Yankees had like a 2350 OPS against pitches 89 or below in the first 2 games. So do what you want, do what you will with that. I mean, they also haven't necessarily seen anything over 94 or 95 yet, and that's considered the league average nowadays on a lot of fastballs.
Yeah. No, it's the torpedo bat conversation's ridiculous. I've heard the word torpedo too many fucking times today. I'm sick of it. I've, I'm done with this conversation. It's
Absolutely. But I mean,
it's gonna continue. We're
it's
apparently
going to
living in
continue
the
for a very
torpedo
long time.
bat era. I mean,
But I mean, so here's the thing with, obviously this gets all the attention in the world because a team like the Yankees, who, come off a pretty embarrassing 5 game loss in the World Series, and, they decide to hit 15 home runs in first 3 games, which is tied with like the '06 Tigers, for the
yeah.
most throughout a 3 game span. But then you get people like Dave Portnoy, who, I think Evan was saying this on the way home, but he likes to get a reaction out of people. So obviously, him being a Red Sox fan got a rise out of
Oh
a
yeah. I
lot
mean,
of
that's really
people.
all that was. He saw a shot to take at the Yankees, and he took
But
it.
it totally takes away from the fact that the Milwaukee pitching staff is decimated at the moment. I think 8 of their 13 guys in the
Yeah.
bullpen and rotation are dealing with injuries. I think it might be 9 now with Savali going down. I don't know if he was the 8th or the ninth, but
Yeah,
there were
they had
guys
a
going
rough
out.
weekend, and
Yeah, there were guys getting
the
trotted
Yankees
out there that had
offense can almost guarantee
no
with
business.
the three guys they're seeing the next three nights against fucking Arizona that we're not scoring 15 runs again because of fucking torpedo bats. So
Definitely not.
yeah,
No.
and Francisco Lindor's adopted this torpedo bat, and he's done a whole lot of squat. I mean, granted, opening weekend, but like, come on, it's just
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not showing anything that's ground. I mean, again, this
yeah,
is going to take more
we'll
than
see what
10 years
happens.
for real
Yeah,
analytics to show this. But yeah, I
we'll see what
mean,
happens. Just see the next couple months what baseball says about
a
it.
very been a very loud
So,
opening weekend, though. I mean, you
yeah,
already have people wanting to ban it before the All Star break. You want, people were obviously taking very extreme steps because the Yankees decided to have a really good weekend, as well as kind of
yeah,
highlighting
the
all of
torpedo.
this going
Yeah,
on. But
yeah, this
but
was
I mean,
crazy.
it's a conversation that's not going to be ending anytime soon.
No, so probably won't be the last time that we talk about it for sure. But let's move on to just talking about these games instead of the fucking bats they're using. Just go through opening day. Rodon looked phenomenal. Couldn't have asked for a better opening day out of him. Essentially, I mean, if he's
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
that's exactly what you want out of him on opening day. You get the leadoff Wells homer, obviously.
Even with Rodon like missing too, like
Yeah,
a lot of his misses, where he walked a couple of guys, certainly were questionable for one, but also still really good pitches that
yeah,
you want to
he
see.
was where he wanted to
Oh,
be on Thursday for sure, which
100%.
is
He was in
exactly
control the entire time. There was never really a doubt in my mind when he
no.
was out there that things were going to go AWOL.
Yeah, as long as we can keep that head straight on Carlos Rodon this year, looking great. And then obviously the bats, you had Wells leadoff homer, Volpe homer with the torpedo bat. I guess Wells is too. Yeah, um,
Yeah, I mean it's going to be something that we're not going to be able to
yeah,
really stray away from when you
yeah,
talk about any of this because you know, like I said before, Dave Portnoy liked to say that Anthony Volpe sucks,
yeah.
and that this is the entire
No, but this is I
product.
mean, he came out hot last year, so I mean, like he's
Oh, and
he
again, you
certainly
and me
his
both
bat
know
his
that.
bat has certainly been a little streaky so far, and
Yeah,
so far he's tended to play a hot stretch in the beginning, and hopefully
yeah,
that just continues this year. But but it's good to see him and Wells coming out of the gate hot. And then also to wrap up opening day, Devin Williams, little shaky there in the ninth, but I mean 2 strikeouts. I'm not too concerned whatsoever.
yeah. He
Uh,
closed the door. I mean, there
yeah,
was.
I assume he's probably gonna
Yeah, I
get into
mean,
at least one of these
two very
games.
dominant at bats.
Yeah, we'll see what happens if he gets into one of these games against Arizona, which he probably should, probably will. So I'll be very interested to see how he responds to that. Which is, I mean, it's still a save. Win's a win. Can't even complain. This is just
Especially
nitpicking.
only after pitching 1 year so far. I mean,
Yeah,
one day so far this year, and then he gets 2 off days. He hasn't pitched in 5 days,
yeah,
so that'll be interesting.
yeah. We'll see. And actually, we won't get into that, but they're actually going for the D-back series. Not to get too ahead of myself. They're going Warren, Rodon, and then Carrasco because Carrasco came into the game on Saturday and the
Yeah,
off day
threw like
today.
40 pitches.
Yeah, the off day today, so Rodon can just go on Wednesday. But back to the Brewers series here. Saturday, which the game is we were at. Just to obviously not gloss over the 9 homers, but Max Fried pitched pretty well. I mean, also very. I mean, just the ball was flying. The ball was absolutely flying on
Yeah,
Saturday.
if there was any time to have a first start kind of go as shaky as that one
Yeah,
did, it's definitely when Aaron Judge hits 3 home runs and basically wins the game by himself. You know
yeah.
what I
I mean,
mean?
he still ate some innings there. Had a decent start. There's not really much you can complain about on a 75 degree day when the winds are like that. The ball's gonna be just flying, and clearly it was for the Yankees. You had the nine homers, three on the first 3 pitches, 4 in the first inning. I mean, it was Judge with 3 himself. I mean, that was one of the more unbelievable days I've ever had at the stadium, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the amount of beer I think that was wasted
Yeah,
during
I'm
one
not
the
even
first
sure if
inning,
my
and then
camera's gonna turn on ever again. Took an absolute beer
yeah, we'll
bath.
see. Yeah, we'll see. But I mean,
Yeah, I should probably check that
yeah, what
after
an
this, to be
electric
honest.
environment. I mean, it felt like a playoff game, and it's
Oh yeah, I mean it is
fucking
opening weekend, so like obviously
well,
vibes are high.
29th. You
People
know
are
what I
excited.
mean?
Yeah, but
Yeah, but I mean, it's for a team that was, for a fan base that was also so down after losing one of the most, polarizing players in the sport, and Juan Soto to the Mets.
yeah,
It's nice to, kind of sit here after this incredible offensive output that. I mean,
yeah,
we
feel good
don't
about
even
what we got
necessarily know
going
what the
on,
lineups are going to look like.
and especially Goldie and Belly doing it too. That's huge. That's really
Yeah, I
huge.
mean, and also just a little
We
shout
get
out to Ben Rice.
yeah, and Ben, huge shout out, always a shout
Just
out to
I mean,
Ben Rice
Ben Rice.
on this fucking podcast.
I
There's
mean,
always
yeah,
a
I mean,
shout
we're gonna
out for
shout
Ben
out Ben
Rice.
Rice regardless. But I mean, a guy like him,
Yeah,
who I mean, goes yard in Game 3 after a day off. You know what I mean? Just it's as if he didn't, miss a beat at all. And
yeah.
I would like to see Ben Rice play over 100 games this year at
I
least. I
think he
mean,
will.
I think
I
he's
think he
that.
will. Because
I
I
think
think
it
we're probably
looks like he's
due
going
for
to.
like Goldie to maybe miss a couple weeks here and there,
Yeah,
and yeah, he's gonna DH a whole hell lot to start the year. So I mean, we'll definitely
100%. Yeah.
see. Then going on to Sunday. I mean, just the bats just kept on rolling into Sunday. Stroman looked all right. Obviously, the bats just put the Brewers away nice and early, pretty much in that game. Rice
Yeah, I
homer.
mean, you gotta be
Yeah,
feeling so down
yeah,
after a spot like that where they did score the first run of the game on
yeah,
Sunday,
yeah.
and
Milwaukee did score first, and
I
then
I
obviously
certainly didn't feel great.
no, and then
I felt
Judge.
like
Yeah, and then as soon
we
as Judge hit the fucking homer,
yeah,
it
and then
was like
Judge kind of yeah,
yeah,
and then Ben Rice, yeah,
and
it's
then Rice and Jazz 2-time to the porch.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
again, who knows how decimated
Brewers team.
Brewers,
Yeah,
this Brewers staff is right now, and we'll see if it
yeah.
translates. But I
Just love
mean,
to see the Yankees hitting
holy
out the
shit,
gate. Yeah, so obviously a nice sweep, get the
yeah.
brooms out nice and early. Couldn't have asked for a better start in the Bronx this year. Looking forward to the D-back series here. Just real quick before we wrap things up here. We got Burns versus Warren tomorrow night, which will be interesting. Burns' debut actually this year. Uh, very very interested to see who we get at Will Warren because he had a very strong spring. I think being the starter after a day off tonight, coming back to the Bronx after this huge weekend for the Yankees. I think the Bronx is gonna be buzzing for a Tuesday night tomorrow night behind Warren. I think
Oh yeah,
I think all the cards are there for Warren to kind of take the rock and have a nice, just solid start for us. And
yeah,
I'd love to see that, especially up against the Corbin Burns tomorrow night.
yeah. I mean, the way that you got to look at this rotation with the major injuries that you got to deal with at the moment is kind of like the philosophy for the NCAA tournament, and it's just survive in advance.
Mm.
You got to take the season block by block, and take your take your chances when you can get them, and
Yeah,
just get better, and hopefully stay consistent, and then you're looking at reinforcements in May and June.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, and hopefully, yeah, get some guys back from injury, heal Schmidt, maybe a trade. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, Schmidt,
And of the five guys in rotation right now, one of them's bound to get fucking hurt. That's baseball, Susan. So we'll
yeah, 100%.
we'll be here talking about it. We'll see what happens. Moving on to the Wednesday game, Gallon versus Rodon. Obviously, Rodon coming off huge opening day. Zach Gallen actually got rocked around. His ERA is sitting at like a 9 right now after one game. Yeah, so I mean, I kind of would guess that he bounces back a bit on Wednesday night. Uh, and then Kelly versus Carrasco for Thursday, and Kelly shoved his first start. So it'll be interesting to see what Cookie can do for the Yankees on Thursday. I
Yeah.
mean, as long as he is actually the starter. I don't know if like that's confirmed, but on Yankees.com it said Carrasco.
Let's say
So
it is
I mean,
100% confirmed.
yeah. They threw Cookie into that game on Saturday, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's what I was about to lead to. obviously you're playing a very decimated team, but he still looked fairly good at least. About 5 or 6 batters worth of relief at the end of the game was, I mean, definitely a weird spot for a guy like Carrasco, who's kind
Yeah,
of been expected to make a couple big
I
starts
trust him
for us
though.
coming down
He's
the
he's
stretch.
he's
But
the kind of guy you gotta
he's
have
a
you gotta
veteran. Yeah,
have some
he's a
faith.
yeah. I mean, we can't be trying out guys from AAA and these young unproven starters that
Yeah,
where I mean half the battle is with yourself in your own head about pitches that you're throwing and how you're feeling and how accurate you're feeling.
yeah,
But a guy like Carrasco at least can rein it. I feel like rein it in a lot better than a lot of the younger prospects that they have throwing.
for sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah. So I mean, if I had to guess, even still would still think the Yankees would take the series home. I mean, the D-backs are definitely an interesting team to look at. Um, I just wanted to actually real quick before we end this, I want to see some of their numbers from these past couple of days. Haven't really looked. How unfucking prepared of us, fucking idiots.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah, that's baseball, John. Baseball, Susan, John. How do we? That's one dream. All right. Yeah. So. Looking at the box scores, 10-6 Cubs on opening day. I knew that. So I mean, they've been scoring some runs. 8-1 Diamondbacks on Friday. 4-3 Cubs on Saturday. And 10-6 Diamondbacks on Sunday. Same. They played a 4-game set. Oh yeah, because they play fucking Chase Field.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're coming in here 2-2 after a series with not a great Cubs team. A Cubs team that also already played regular season games before this series. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see about this week. I'm excited to watch some more Yankees baseball. We'll definitely talk about it after they play the
Yeah,
Diamondbacks
100%.
on Thursday night. I think that's the plan. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe. Freaking go watch us be hooligans in the bleachers. Bleachers
Yep.
from nowhere. Shout out 203 in the bleacher
Yeah,
creatures.
it's gonna be a couple of instances in the bleachers this year. Hopefully, they're gonna be as beer showered filled
Yeah.
as
More beer showers to come,
the first
hopefully.
one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the first one was a massive success, so it's
Massive success.
gonna be hard to follow it up. But
Yeah, we'll follow it up for sure. Sure we will. All right, well, that's it for
yeah,
episode 9. Trying to keep these things short and sweet now, too. Because I think that takes us not even 20
to the
minutes.
point,
Yeah, right to the point here. We'll be sitting here yapping, saying torpedo 900 times. Get it short and sweet here. All right. Well,
Yep, torpedo.
torpedo, 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 torpedo.